Hi, my name is Laura, and I'm the owner of Front Office Rocks, an online training resource for dental teams. And I'm also an office manager in a dental office in San Diego, California. I am an Eaglesoft user and love Eaglesoft as our practice management software and wanted to have the ability to help my team learn Eaglesoft better, but found that there wasn't a lot of resources teaching my team how to implement Eaglesoft in their day-to-day. So I decided to make my own. I'm doing videos to help my team get better at implementing Eaglesoft. I'm not sponsored by anyone. This is on my own to not only help my team implement Eaglesoft better in their day-to-day jobs, but now for you to be able to implement this in your practice. So I am going to be reviewing different parts of Eaglesoft to show you the importance of what it has to offer and how you might be able to implement things better in your practice. I do want to say that every dental office does things a little differently, so please follow along. But if you want to talk to your office manager to find out how they would like you to implement, I highly suggest that. And if you have other suggestions of how you use Eaglesoft or parts of Eaglesoft in your practice, please leave a comment because we can all tend to learn and share from each other. So this is the first video of a progression of videos, and what I'm going to be talking about today is just this main screen. Now, there are two different ways that you can look at the main screen in your practice. This is the more user-friendly one. This is the one that is less user-friendly. I personally would like to use this one so that the front and the back, the clinical team and the front office team, could, have the same screen, but I've been outnumbered by my office and my team, so this is what we use because it's super user-friendly. So as a front office employee, you're going to want to look at the front office view. As a clinical employee, you're going to want to look at the clinical view. And the idea is that you can click on things that you want to do, like look at an x-ray or find a patient from the screen in which you're most comfortable. I'm going to talk mostly in this one about front office, so I'm going to talk about the front office. We will have future ones on back office. So let's talk about what this is. This is all point and click. So this is time clock. If you want to clock in, clock out, see your timesheet. Now your office manager gives you access to different things that you have availability to do. So you may or may not have access to see your timesheet. You may have to go to your office manager if you need to have questions about your timesheet because they may not want you having access to edit your timesheet, but you can clock in and clock out right here. This is the time clock. This is how, actually that one doesn't work. This is for insurance payments. If a patient is making a payment, if you want to look at the schedule, if you want to go to the back office, in the back office, the clinical side has different functions than we do. If you want to print reports, you click right here to print reports. And one of the things that you'll want to do is make a My Favorites report, or at least if your office is already set up, get used to the My Favorite reports. These are the ones that you use most often. So you will want to make sure if you've got one that you go to on a weekly, daily basis, add it to the My Favorites. And it's really easy to do by just clicking on any report in here and add it to My Favorites. That one's already in My Favorites, but you can add it. There's also quick reports. If you want to, these are our doctors. If they want to quickly get a production or different things that they want to pull out of here regularly, you can go to quick reports. Now, in all these videos, I'm just explaining what they are and why they're important. If you don't know how to do this, I definitely recommend that you get support, which leads me to this wonderful picture down here. One of the things that happens in dental offices is a lot of time if we don't understand our software, what we do is we get up and we ask other people in the office. And the issue with that is that's sometimes wasted time. And many times the rest of the office doesn't necessarily know how to find something either. So what I prefer to do is teach my team not to be afraid of getting help. So there's a couple help functions that I recommend here. And if I go over anything in these videos that you want more training on, go here to this picture. We used to call this in our office, we say call Hillary Clinton because it used to be a lady that looked a lot like Hillary Clinton. In the new version, it's changed and it's this lady. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to call her Hillary Clinton. But We do. And you can go here and you can get, if you need remote support from Patterson, if you need live help, there's an FAQ and there's email support. So the first thing I would suggest is if you need help with anything, that you actually go to the FAQs and you put in a keyword search, and they will actually show you how to do different things that you can do yourself in your practice. But then my favorite is the live help. Now it's not going to work because it's after hours here, but I can actually go and put in my information. Here it says it's not available. And then somebody at Patterson or at Eaglesoft support will message me and ask me what my question is. So it's really easy, especially if you're by yourself in a dental office, or if you don't want to bother the rest of the team and you know it's something easy to figure out, I would go to live help. The one thing to note about our software is if you think it's available in Eaglesoft, if you think there's got to be a report that shows that, there's got to be a screen or some way to tell me how to do something, it's probably there. So go to Live Help and ask for it. Go to the FAQs and ask for it. That's what they're there for. So that is a big suggestion that I have, is make sure that you're always using the Live Help and the FAQs. Now, the next thing about Eaglesoft is it's really, you can get to the same page 4 different directions. And it's funny how I've worked in Eaglesoft for years now, and I'll stand behind one of my employees and they'll get to a screen different than the way I get to a screen. So for example, if I click on, here, it's going to take me to my schedule, which I don't have up for you guys right now because I have to be careful of privacy. But I can also, like reports, for example, I click right here on the printer, that gets me reports. However, if you're one of the people who like to do a pull-down menu, this is the exact same thing. So you can get to reports by hitting the printer, or you can get to reports by going up here. You can see my favorite reports. You can see, the quick reports. They're all going to be right here, okay? There's other things up here that hopefully you guys can see. Let me see if I can make this a little smaller because I want to make sure that you guys see what I'm talking about, okay? So here we have file, activities, lists, reports, online, utilities, window. You don't need to know all of this, but it's important to know that these are up here. So file typically has to do with preferences within Eaglesoft. You are more than likely, if you're an employee to the practice, not going to do anything in this area. But if you're an office manager, or if you're looking to change something, the way procedures are walked out, or when statements are sent, they may lead you into preferences when you're getting tech support. I wouldn't change anything in this area until somebody has told you that you should do that. The other thing, changes will not be saved. You sure want to exit because they want to make sure you didn't mess anything up. The next area is going to be activities. These are things that we do, okay? So we receive a payment. We write a prescription. We put together a treatment plan. We process an insurance claim. So these are process end of day. These are things that we do, okay? And then again, these are lists, and then these are reports. So lists are more like, let's say I want to look at lab case types. Here's all the lab case types. Today, my team was asking me about exploding codes. So I went to, I've got to find it here, exploding codes right there. So now I can look up, here's all the exploding codes that we have in the practice. So when you're looking for a list of something, insurance companies, employers, referral sources, all of this is going to be listed. Activity is going to be things that you do. Okay, now I don't necessarily work with activities very much because I do most of it from the screen. But if you're one of the people who like a list, this is going to be great for you. There are also things where it's like function 11. So if you want to do F11, that will get you to the same thing also. So some people are the keyboard people. So recognize that no matter who is working in Eaglesoft, you're going to get to the same place, whether I hit F11 or if I come up here and I go to Task Manager, okay? And then online, again, this is how you can connect through to Live Help, much like this picture right here. Utilities, you're not going to do much of anything with utilities unless somebody from Patterson or Eaglesoft support tells you. There are some things in here that are like how we set things up, how we connect the interfaces with different other things that we work with, but you're not going to work with utilities very much. And then window is how I showed you to change the window that you look at. And then again, you're back to support. So for a new employee, your biggest things that you're going to want to know are reports, schedule, time clock, maybe receiving a payment. Now I'm going to show you how to do that in future ones, to do it within the patient's account, because that's more of where you would do this. And then FAQs and live help. And this is where you're going to get that. If you don't like the pictures, you're going to go up here to the lists. So that is your tutorial about the front desk area. If you are brand new, make sure that your office manager has set you up with a password so that you can log in. I'm going to show you if I log off. Then I want to be able to log in. So you want a password for that. And then you may or may not have a time clock password. Some offices will have a password for that. So you want to make sure that you have your time clock password so you can start clocking in and out to be able to get paid. Because as I mentioned at the beginning, this is a resource that I've developed for my team, but I wanted to share it with your team because I know what it's like to be in the dental office day to day and how to make this help us do our jobs better. So please make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can see more videos coming your way. Put comments at the bottom to let us know how you're implementing this part of Eaglesoft in your practice. And if you want to learn more about how to implement great training in your dental office, you can find me at frontofficerocks.com.